What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the CPA Zone, the podcast where we discuss tax strategies and accounting tips for entrepreneurs and real estate investors. My name is Ryan Pulis, and our company, the Pulis Group, offers tax planning and advisory services for entrepreneurs like you. Whether it's bookkeeping, tax planning, or CFO services that you're looking for, we've got you covered. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the CPA Zone. Today, I have a special guest with us, Zach Wesolick. Zach's joining us. He is one of the founders of ProCapitist Properties. So back in 2018, Zach and his business partner joined forces and started an investment company called ProCapitist. They've had some growth since then, and they now have incorporated their real estate sales business in with the investment business. And we're going to talk a bit today about the current state of the real estate market, how things are looking, what sort of impact there's been in terms of real estates, which everyone's probably aware of by now. But that being said, I'll allow Zach to introduce himself and give us a bit more information on his background, and we'll go from there. How's it going,
Absolutely.
Zach?
Doing well, Ryan. Thanks for having me on, and hello, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Zach Wesolick. I am native to the Northern Virginia area. Got into real estate sales back in 2016. Slowly developed the realtor business, and then I met my business partner, and we splintered off and merged the real estate sales business with our investment business, and it's just continued to grow from there. And that's how I got connected with Ryan, was through our investment networks.
Awesome. Yeah, that's right. Zach and his business partner, Patrick, have put together a group in Woodbridge, which we're on the Northern Virginia area. So I attend several of their meetings a year. They have a great group down there. Very, very good networking. So I think I've been joining you guys since about 2018, I believe.
Yeah, you have. You were in our original group that was just like three people that would come
Yeah,
in.
yeah, it
It
was
was you, and then obviously COVID happened, and the group got derailed, and then we revived it after that. And I could speak a little bit more on that process. But yeah, you've been with us from day one, so we appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember finding you guys on Bigger Pockets back then.
Mhm.
I guess it was probably around 2018. Yeah, why don't you tell us a little about that? Because really, your network as a real estate investor is probably one of your most valuable assets. So having that ability to tap resources from your network is huge. Can really scale your real estate business. Maybe if you can
Yeah,
give us a little info about how that all came about.
yeah,
Where,
absolutely. So the networking group, first off, I've always, even in my real estate sales business, been very referral based on those long-term relationships, and been able to develop those through networking and through getting belly to belly with people. We fell on our butts into the networking group. Another agent had asked us to take care of theirs when they moved out of state, and then we took it over. Didn't really know anything about investing, but just from sitting in on the meetings, we were just opening doors. And eventually, after about 2 months of just connecting with those like-minded people, it helped us to get that confidence to go out there and to do some deals on our own, and started really snowballing from that. And then the more you're in those networks, you're learning what other people are doing, all different types of strategies. As I had mentioned, we're doing it on our own prior to 2020. After everything shut down and started to open back up again, we decided to get the group up and going, and we're wondering whether to go back grassroots, start it on our own again, or should we plug into a system that is working. And there's a group in our area. They're really nationwide, but they're very heavy in the DMV area, called Grid, and they have an already established network. And through tapping into them and their resources and talking to them, it just helped us to grow and to learn what high level people are doing that are doing what we want to do. You're learning through the mistakes of others and through those interactions, what to do. So I think that's invaluable, and that's all something you can really only get from being ingrained in those networks. We live in. I know I'm one of those suckers that gets all the Instagram ads for courses and different things like that. And they're great. Education is awesome, but I think getting in rooms, talking with people, and really getting a hands-on approach from people like Ryan, who has seen all kinds of different tax situations, or the hard money lenders in our group, getting and being able to really talk to those people and get to know them on a personal level is going to supercharge whatever success, no matter what field you're in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. In fact, I don't think I told you this, but the most recent deal I did, which we just closed middle of October, was actually from. So I met the guy that does the Grid Manassas meetup
Mm-hmm.
at your meetup back in probably the last time I was there. Um, Not when I presented, but prior to that, which would have been July or August. So I met Daniel there, and then at the Manassas meetup, I met a gentleman there who was putting together a deal for an assisted living facility, which is something I had been exploring on my own with my wife. We were considering trying to put together one of our own here in Virginia. And we found out how many barriers to entry there are. And we were looking to go the residential route, like buy a 5 or 6 bedroom home, kind of convert that into a 8 to 10 bed unit out here. We realized pretty quickly that you have to scale fast. You can't really just have one if you want to hire a full-time administrator. So anyway, long story short, I met this guy. He was talking about one they're putting together as a 44-bed facility, and so I'm actually an investor in that deal. But it came through your network and me going to an additional meeting from someone I met there. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, no, I totally agree. The networking and just the contacts you meet with no matter whether it's real estate or just any sort of business network, getting together
Yeah,
those like-minded people, it's huge.
absolutely.
But anyway, I guess one thing I wanted to talk about with you, especially since you're kind of heavy on the real estate sales, is just the current state of the market around here in the Northern Virginia area, how things have looked the last several months, what sort of impact you're seeing from interest rates, and whether there's been any changes recently since the Fed's cut in September.
Yeah, so the market has been very fluid, I'll say, in the past year or so. We've seen lots of everybody has been aware that 2020, 2021 with those historically low interest rates were an absolutely crazy market. It was I would say it was a bloodbath out there for the buyers, and it was great to sell a house. You'd list it, it'd be gone in a day. Rates have slowly started to tick up, and that trend has really died down quite a bit. We're seeing what I would call a more normalized market. I can speak at least in houses that we've listed in the past 4 months. We are seeing a lot more days on the market. You're seeing at least 14 days on market before you're getting any kind of offers or things like that. A lot more seller subsidies or money being put by sellers towards the buyers, closing costs, things like that. So a lot more help for the buyers out there. Now with those the rates ticking up, that has obviously raised the monthly payments a lot. So it's one of those things that had to happen in order for the market to normalize a little bit. Definitely, we're now in those 6% plus rates, and it's definitely taken a toll, slowed down the market. We're just to be honest, we're very fortunate in Northern Virginia that we're a little bit cocooned from a lot of different areas in the
Yeah.
country where they're being hit harder, a lot slower markets. Even in some areas in Maryland, you're seeing a really big slowdown. We've definitely seen a slowdown in Northern Virginia, but it's still a strong market. Buyers are still out there. We're coming into we're kind of in that season of military transfers. So things are still staying very strong, but it's a lot better for buyers out there if you can afford those monthly payments or put down money down. It's definitely a great time to buy. And it's just for sellers, you have to have that realistic expectation. We're not in 2021 anymore where I listed Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday at 5 p.m. We've got four offers. It's just that's
Yeah,
not the market we're in right now.
gotcha. Yeah, no, I understand. A lot of people are kind of trapped in their old interest rate as well.
Mhm.
It's tough when you're sitting on a 3% mortgage to go buy something at, with a six handle, and to get the same sort of house, you're really going to significantly increase your payment. But it's still
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of people just that they have to move. So sometimes you
Yeah,
can't help it.
absolutely. I know. I've got a 3.25% rate, and I have no plans of getting rid of that anytime soon.
Yeah, that's
Obviously, until that equity can cover the transition into a new home.
right.
I'm gonna be sitting here for a while, and I think a lot of sellers are in that position. So hopefully the rate increases creates a healthy dynamic for the inventory to level out.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Do you have any advice for sellers or anyone looking to sell right now, or I guess even buy?
Yeah, for sellers, I think maintaining those expectations are really important, and to know that it might take a little bit of time. Ha Having a good open relationship with your agent to where you can have that open line of communication. Definitely do your research, pick the right agent, get somebody that is going to market your home effectively and communicate with you and be honest with you about what needs to be done when a price reduction does need to happen. Really, that open line of communication is the most important thing when you have a good agent because that's going to speed the process along. Maybe if you are in a market where there is a small range of prices rather, go towards that lower end and get it heavily marketed, and then hopefully you'll get it sold fast. Obviously, if you have more time to sell, that is to your benefit. You might feel the price a little bit higher.
All right, good deal. That sounds good. So we've talked about the market a bit and real estate, or I'm sorry, interest rates. What sort of hobbies or interests you have outside of real estate?
Yeah, so I am recently within the past 2 years, really, I've gotten into martial arts. I'm big. I like doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Krav Maga. It's really fun. I'm still not very great at it, but I enjoy doing it, enjoy the process. It's something I find it almost like meditative to where
Yeah,
everyone's been talking about election, turmoil, stuff like that. But when you're in class doing those things, you're just worried about you and your counterpart and that relationship there and not worried about everything on the outside because then you get choked out if you're worried about
yeah,
other stuff.
that's awesome. I actually I started doing jujitsu myself not long ago. So I go to
Okay.
Gracie Barra gym in
Oh,
Great
cool.
Falls. So yeah, is Krav Maga, is that like the more? It's more like striking self-defense. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
I'm not as
more
familiar.
just
Okay.
a self-defense modality, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's a great workout, man. The
Yeah.
jujitsu anyway, man. You
Yeah, for
go
sure.
roll for a half an hour and everything hurts for a couple days,
Oh,
but
I know,
great,
and
great workout.
I always love when I get stuck with the 6'2", 250 pound instructor. That's me,
Yeah.
the 5'6", 170 pound guy.
Yeah. Or you get those young 20-year-olds that are flipping around. Come on, man.
Oh
Let's
yeah, I
slow
know.
down a little bit.
It's humbling to get tapped out by a high schooler.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. What about are you reading any sort of good books, especially anything real estate related or real estate investor related? Or have you
I
read anything recently that you'd recommend?
Sure. I have read, I know, you know, Charlie Einsman. He just wrote a
Oh
book
yeah,
actually called Roadmap to Wealth. I think it's a great starting point for real estate investors. It kind of gives a very good overview of how to get started in the game and start to build that wealth up. Um, you know, you had mentioned Bigger Pockets earlier. It's not a book, but they do have a lot of books out there, and their podcast network I think is a great way
yeah,
to get that broad sense of different types of real estate investing and things along those lines. Those are two that I highly recommend. There's another one. Oh, I had the name and it's escaping me. It's like creating passive wealth through multifamily investing. It's by Rod
okay,
Leaf.
okay. Not
Um,
familiar with that one.
yeah, I'll send you the link for it. That's another one that I read probably earlier this year. I think that's a great way if you're interested in multifamily investing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I can second that on Charlie's book, Roadmap to Wealth. That's a good one. You
Mhm.
can find it on Amazon if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Definitely a good read. Awesome. Now, this is a tax and accounting podcast, so I have to ask, do you have any favorite tax strategies?
Yeah, I think obviously with real estate investing, taxes are such a massive part of the benefits of doing that. You know, the 1031 exchange, we're in the process of exchanging some of our rental properties right now. So I think that is uh, a second to none asset or a second to none strategy rather, excuse me,
Gotcha.
to where you can do that. And even just the fact of offsetting, you know, my wife is a W-2 employee,
Hmm.
using a lot of the losses and the strategies there to offset some of that income and to help us at tax time, I think is second to none as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, those two, the 1031 exchange is huge. Always a great tool for real estate investors and real estate professional status. That's what's
Yeah,
allowing you to deduct those losses against W-2 wages. So
yeah.
that's huge. I call the real estate professional status what I call that the holy grail of tax strategies for anyone that's involved in real estate,
Oh, I know.
if you can claim it. So awesome. And what about our tech stacks? I've really been focused on this myself, trying to improve my use of technology and incorporate new products as much as I can. Have you been using anything lately from a tech space that you recommend or has helped you out just in terms of workflow or saving time?
Yeah, for sure. As I mentioned earlier, we're in a very social media heavy environment. So I use a software. It's called ManyChat,
Okay.
Many chat, and it's kind of like an autoresponder. I use it primarily with Instagram. I think you can link it to other different things. Disclaimer, I am a not a very tech savvy person, so I'm probably not using it to its full potential. But yeah, it's something where you can if you have like I have a property that we're selling, right? I can say message or respond to this post with the word tour, and you'll be sent a virtual tour, and it automatically, anytime somebody comments tour or messages tour, they'll automatically be sent a link to whatever I decide they'll be sent, whether that is some kind of 3D tour, a video, whatever. So yeah, it just helps with you know, it's easy to fall behind on things when you're not constantly in front of it. So this just helps being able to follow up with people and connect in still a personal level because it does send it as a message. So it looks like I'm sending you a message. So that way, it has that personal touch, but it's still
Awesome.
being able to automate it.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that. I made a note because that sounds like something that would be useful for sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty cost effective too. I think it's like $20 a month.
Okay, yeah, nice. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are coming up on time here. How can listeners best connect with you for anything real estate related they want to talk about if they're in the market for looking for someone to sell their home or help them buy?
Sure. I mean, social media is probably the easiest way. My name is Zach Wesolick. You can look me up on Facebook. I think Instagram. My handle is Zach Wesolick Realtor. So that's probably the easiest way. I like to stay in touch with those. I don't have like a business page. I just kind of connect with me personally, see if we vibe, and would love to connect there.
All right, awesome. Yeah, and I have your social media, so we'll put that in the show notes page. So if anyone's
Sweet,
interested, they can find your contact info there. I
sweet.
appreciate you coming on. It's been great. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, I would love to, Ryan. I appreciate all the content that you put out um, on this podcast and through your speaking. You're an excellent resource. So thank you for all that you do, and thanks for the opportunity to come on.
All right, no, I appreciate it. Great talking to you. We'll talk soon.
Sweet. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, have a good one.
Bye,
That about
everyone.
does it for today, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a good day. So that about does it for this episode of the CPA Zone. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found something valuable that you can take away. We are taking on new clients, and if you'd like to work with us, then go to our website and fill out the client intake form on our contact page. This can be found at thepulisgroup.com/contact. That's ThePulicegroup.com/contact.